Most men are replaceable. A few are not. Here is exactly what makes the difference. She has dated other men before you. She will meet other men after you. Men who are taller, richer, better looking, more successful, and more polished in every way that the world says should matter. And yet there are certain men that women cannot get over, cannot replace, cannot stop comparing every new person to. Men who set a standard so high in her experience that nobody who comes after them ever quite measures up. You have probably wondered what those men have that others do not. You have probably assumed it was something you either have or you do not. Something genetic, something fortunate, something out of reach. But here is the truth that psychology and the science of human bonding have established clearly. The men women cannot replace are not the most impressive men they have ever met. They are the most irreplaceable. And irreplaceability is not a trait you are born with. It is a quality you build, one specific sign at a time. Today we are breaking down 5 signs that you are the man she genuinely cannot replace, no matter how hard she tries. If you recognize yourself in all 5 of these, you already are that man. If you do not yet, by the end of this video you will know exactly what to build. Before we go into all 5, subscribe right now and drop a like. This channel is built for men who want to understand what actually makes them irreplaceable in a woman's life and in the world. And I want to say something honest to you right now. If you have ever been left by someone you genuinely cared about and spent months wondering how she could move on so easily, this video is going to show you exactly what was missing. But more importantly, it is going to show you how to build it. The Magnetic Masculinity ebook in the description below takes everything in this video and gives you the complete practical system for becoming the man no woman ever truly gets over. Men who have read it say it changed not just how women see them, but how they see themselves. That shift is everything. The link is in the description. Scroll down and grab it right now while this is fresh. Because every day without this understanding is another day you could be building something that lasts. Here is a painful truth that most men have experienced but rarely talk about. You can give a woman everything, your time, your energy, your complete emotional investment. You can be consistent, caring, and genuinely present in a way that most men never manage to be. And she can still walk away, still move on, still find someone else and seemingly forget everything you built together with a speed that feels impossible and deeply personal. And the question that haunts most men after that experience is not just why did she leave? It is why was I so easy to replace? The answer to that question is not what most men expect. It is almost never about effort. Almost never about how much you gave or how consistently you showed up. In fact, some of the most replaced men in the world were also the ones who tried the hardest. The problem is not quantity of effort. It is the specific qualities that create irreplaceability. And those qualities are not what most men are focused on building. Most men focus on being what she wants. The irreplaceable man focuses on being something she has never experienced anywhere else. And that distinction changes everything. Psychologist Dr. Arthur Aaron, whose research on love and human bonding at the State University of New York identified what he called the self-expansion model of relationships. His research found that people feel the most powerfully bonded to and the most devastated by the loss of partners who expanded their sense of self. Partners who introduced them to new ways of thinking, feeling, and experiencing the world. Partners who made them grow in directions they could not have grown alone. The man who simply fits into a woman's existing world is comfortable. But comfortable is replaceable. The man who expands her world, who challenges her to think differently, who creates experiences and emotional states she has never had with anyone else, becomes part of her identity. And you cannot replace a part of someone's identity with a newer model. Dr. Helen Fisher, whose neurological research on love and attachment found that the brain's bonding chemistry, the oxytocin, the dopamine, the norepinephrine, is most powerfully activated not by men who are impressive on paper, but by men who create specific, unique, and emotionally intense experiences that the brain cannot categorize alongside any previous experience. Unique experiences create unique bonds, and unique bonds are by definition irreplaceable. These are the 5 signs that you are building exactly that. Here are the 5 signs. Sign 1. You make her think in ways she never has before. The man she cannot replace is not the most agreeable man she has ever been with. He is the most intellectually alive man she has ever been with. He has opinions she has never heard before. He introduces her to ideas that shift something in her. He asks her questions that nobody else has thought to ask. He challenges her gently in ways that make her grow rather than shrink. There is a specific feeling a woman gets when she is talking to a man whose mind genuinely interests her. A feeling of being mentally alive in the conversation, of learning something about herself or the world that she did not know before she sat down with him. That feeling is addictive, and the man who creates it consistently becomes associated with that aliveness in her brain. When he is gone, she does not just miss him. She misses who she was when she was with him. Research from Dr. Aaron's self-expansion model found that intellectual stimulation and the feeling of personal growth within a relationship are among the strongest predictors of long-term attachment and the most frequently cited qualities in partners that people report being unable to replace. Be the most interesting mind in her world. Ask better questions, have real opinions, read, think, grow, and bring her into that growth with you. Sign 2. You have a life. She respects deeply. The man she cannot replace is not a man who made her the center of his world. He is a man who had a world worth being the center of. He has goals he is genuinely working toward. He has friendships that matter to him. He has passions that existed before she arrived and will continue after she leaves. He has a clear sense of who he is, where he is going, and what he stands for. And she respects all of it, not just intellectually, deeply. In the way that makes a woman proud to be associated with someone. In the way that makes her feel she is part of something that matters rather than the only thing that matters. When a man's entire world revolves around a woman, she does not feel cherished. She feels responsible for his happiness, and that weight kills attraction over time. But when a man has a full, directed, and purposeful life that she is invited into, when she can see that he was someone before her and will continue to be someone regardless of her, she does not just feel attracted to him. She feels privileged to be chosen by him. Dr. David Buss's evolutionary psychology research found consistently that men, with clear purpose, ambition, and an independent life direction, are rated by women as significantly more desirable as long-term partners than men whose lives lack direction or who become emotionally dependent on their partner for purpose and validation. Build a life she respects, not for her, for you. And watch how differently she holds on to it. Sign 3. You made her feel safe in a way nobody else has. Safety is not about protection from physical danger. In the context of deep female attraction, safety means something far more specific and far more powerful. It means she can be completely herself around you without fear of judgment, without editing her thoughts before she speaks them, without managing her emotions to avoid your reaction, without wondering whether being fully human in front of you is going to cost her your respect. Most women spend their entire lives managing how they present themselves to the people around them. They are careful, considered, and controlled because experience has taught them that being fully themselves is sometimes not safe. The man who creates genuine emotional safety, who responds to her full humanity with patience, with curiosity, and with complete non-judgment, gives her an experience that is so rare it becomes associated with him personally. She does not just feel comfortable with him. She feels free. And freedom with another person is one of the rarest and most irreplaceable feelings in the entire human experience. When she leaves that kind of safety, she does not just lose a relationship. She loses the only place she ever fully exhaled. And that is not something she finds again easily. Psychologist Dr. John Gottman's research on what creates lasting bonds in relationships found that emotional safety, the consistent experience of being accepted without judgment, is the single strongest predictor of deep attachment and the quality most frequently described by women as impossible to find again after losing it. Be her safest place, not her easiest place, her safest one. Sign 4. You challenged her to become better. The man she cannot replace did not just accept her as she was. He saw who she could become and believed in that version of her before she could see it herself. He noticed her potential in places she had given up on. He encouraged her when she was ready to quit. He set a standard of growth and self-respect in the relationship that made her better simply by being around him. He called her higher without making her feel less. This is a profoundly different thing from criticism. Criticism tears down. This builds up. It says, I see something in you that you are not fully living yet, and I am not going to pretend I do not see it just to keep things comfortable. A woman who has been genuinely challenged to become her best self by a man she loved does not forget that man. Because he did not just love who she was, he invested in who she was becoming. And when she looks at the growth she made during that time, when she looks at the person she became, in part because of his belief in her, she carries him with her in the most permanent way possible. He is written into who she is now, and that is the deepest form of irreplaceability that exists. Sign 5. You were completely yourself the entire time. This is the sign most men overlook completely, and it is possibly the most important one of all. The man she cannot replace never performed for her. He never said what he thought she wanted to hear when it was not what he actually believed. He never pretended to be more agreeable, more flexible, or more aligned with her preferences than he actually was. He was fully himself, from the beginning to the end, honest about his opinions, clear about his values, unwilling to compromise his identity to make the relationship more comfortable. And here is why that creates irreplaceability. Every other man she meets is, to some degree, performing, presenting the version of himself he thinks she wants to see, managing his image, editing himself for her approval. Only one man in her experience was completely real, and real, when it is combined with all the other qualities on this list, creates a bond that cannot be duplicated because it cannot be faked. She knows the difference between a man who showed her who he wanted her to think he was and a man who showed her exactly who he actually is. And the man who was real with her becomes the standard against which every performance she encounters afterward is measured. Be completely yourself, not a version of yourself, not a managed presentation of yourself, all of yourself. Because the version of you that is fully real is the version of you that nobody else can ever replace. Here is what ties all 5 of these signs together. None of them are about being better than other men on paper, not richer, not taller, not more impressive by any external measure. They are all about being more fully yourself than any man she has ever encountered. More intellectually alive, more purposeful, more emotionally safe, more invested in her growth, more honest about your own. The irreplaceable man is not a perfect man. He is a complete man. A man so fully realized in his own identity and so genuinely invested in the people he chooses to love that the experience of being with him becomes a permanent part of who she is. You cannot replace that with a newer model. You cannot upgrade away from it. You cannot find a better version of it somewhere else. Because there is only one him. And if you are building these 5 things, there is only one you. That is what irreplaceability actually means. And now you know exactly how to build it. If this hit something deep today, like this video and subscribe for more content that tells men the truth about what actually makes them matter in a woman's life and in the world. And let me be completely honest with you before you go. Everything in this video points to one thing: becoming a man of genuine depth, purpose, safety, and authenticity. That does not happen from watching one video. It happens from a consistent, practical commitment to building yourself from the inside out. The Magnetic Masculinity ebook is the most complete tool I have ever built for that process. It is not theory. It is not inspiration that fades by tomorrow. It is a practical, psychology-backed system for becoming the man that women genuinely cannot replace. The man that other men respect. The man that you can look at in the mirror and know you actually built. I spent 15 years putting this together. You can read it in a few hours. And those few hours have the potential to change the entire trajectory of your relationships, your confidence, and your sense of your own worth in a way that nothing else has. The link is in the description right now. Scroll down and grab it. Because the version of you that women cannot replace is not some distant future possibility. He is the next version of you. And he starts being built the moment you make the decision to go deeper than a YouTube video. Go make that decision right now.